Hey guys, Robbie here from CrossFit South Bend. Today I'm going to give you a little tour of my fridge. A lot of people ask me, what sorts of things do you eat on a regular basis? Where do you buy them? What are your favorites? So today I'm going to talk about which items I typically get, where I get them from, and how to prepare them. All right, so here's a little look inside our fridge. And yes, we did clean it up. This isn't normally the way it looks, although I will say it generally does look pretty clean, but because we knew we were going to film a video, we cleaned it up a bit. So just going to start out kind of going from the top down. So number one, kind of a quick go-to meal option, pasture-raised eggs. If you've ever been on one of my grocery store tours, you know that there's so many different terms for eggs: free range, omega-3 enriched, all these different things. Pasture-raised is the term you want to look for. I get these in particular from Whole Foods, but I also tend to get my eggs a lot from Hebron Farms, a local family farm that sells at our Purple Porch Co-op. They also deliver to the gym each weekend. Really like their eggs as well. Got a whole canister of blueberries here. Costco actually sells organic blueberries in the middle of the winter. This seems like it's a new feature. I don't remember them having them last year. They also sell organic raspberries at a pretty decent price, and they're really nice for kind of a snack. Organic butternut squash. So this isn't something that you necessarily need to buy organic. You can buy it regular as well. That's totally fine. But I like to buy it diced in particular because if you've ever tried to chop a butternut squash, you know that it's a gigantic pain in the butt. And if it's just pre-diced, all you do is you open this up, put it on a sheet pan, put some olive oil and salt on it, and it's good to go in the oven for about 30 to 45 minutes and tastes delicious. Five-pound bag of baby carrots that's nearly finished. We have another 5-pound bag in there. Why a 5-pound bag? Because I eat baby carrots like they're going out of style, but also they're just a really great kind of quick and easy vegetable that you can have with any sort of protein that you might have left over. That you don't really need to cook, and it's really easy to just kind of grab and go and have for snack. Celery sticks. So these are really ones that you're going to want to try to buy organic. It really makes a difference with celery. Celery is really high up there on kind of the pesticide use list in terms of being really sort of laden with pesticides. So to the extent you can get this organic, it really makes a difference. These on their own, they're kind of bland, but if you put some sea salt on them, and as we'll talk about, if you eat them with some guacamole, they're fantastic. They're really good, kind of quick, easy way to get some vegetables again without necessarily having to cook anything. So this is a quick, easy grab and go option. All right, gotta kind of dig back here a little bit for our next item. Green beans. These you don't need to get organic necessarily, although I tend to like this brand a lot. What I like about this, I don't like the little end pieces of green beans, and to me it's one of these things, just like with the butternut squash, it's one of these things where if it's going to delay you from actually, or even prevent you from actually eating the food, you just want to spend a little bit extra to kind of get the stuff that's easy to make. So in this case, the stuff, they're already snipped at the ends. All I do is I open this up, I put it on a sheet pan, put on some olive oil or some ghee or some coconut oil, put some salt on, roast it in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. Super simple, no prep really required, so it's a fantastic way to get some good veggies in. Mushrooms, got a couple different options here. Got the baby portobellos, got the white mushrooms. Either one is totally fine. Mushrooms are totally healthy for you. You don't need to buy them organic. In terms of preparation, these are absolutely one of the easiest things to make. All you have to do is cut them up, typically just cut them in half, put some ghee or some butter or some olive oil in a saute pan. If you like, put in some garlic or some shallots, and you saute them at high heat for about 5 minutes, and they taste delicious. So unlike the vegetables that you have to roast, The mushrooms are really just super easy, quick saute, and they're ready to go whenever you want to eat them. All right, next thing on the docket. Gigantic box of spring mix. So I usually get one of these a week. Typically I'll get it from Costco just because it's a little bit cheaper there and it's still organic. You can also get organic spinach, baby spinach. I'll get that a lot too. What I like about this is just like the celery or the carrots, all I have to do is open this up, put a big handful on a plate, maybe 2 handfuls, and then sprinkle some olive oil on it, and it's delicious and it's ready to go. It's a very easy way to get vegetables without having to cook anything. Now let's talk a little bit about healthy fats. So if you're ever at Whole Foods and you see that they are out of Chef Earl's fresh guacamole, the reason is probably going to be because I have cleared them out. As you can see, we have lots and lots of these in here. I love these. Part of the reason is the taste. I think these taste a lot better than other guacamoles, but the other reason is the pods. So if you ever bought a big tub of guacamole and you open it, it's going to go bad pretty quickly after you open it, whereas these are kind of single serving pods that are pretty easy to just kind of grab and go, take with you, and you're just kind of one and done with them. You don't have to open them and then have to worry about them going bad. If you're hearing some random licking in the background, that is our dog Rocket, who apparently is scavenging for food. Sorry about that. So other things in terms of healthy fats, we got some avocados here. You can buy these wherever you like. I happen to buy them at Costco just because they come in a big bunch and they're pretty cheap. Again, really simple, quick grab and go. All you have to do is cut one of these open, take the pit out, put some sea salt on it, and scoop it out with a spoon. It's delicious. Great, easy way to have healthy fat on the go snack. Typically, you can see that me and my wife Lisa, we've eaten the vast majority of this pineapple at this point, but typically what I'll do is I'll buy a couple whole pineapples from some local store, and then I will cut them up and then put them in the storage bin here. And again, in terms of saving money, one of the best things you can do to save some money is buy the whole fruit as opposed to the pre-chopped stuff. So, it takes me literally less than 30 seconds to chop a pineapple. And once you do that, you can just kind of store it in here and you're good to go. Two pineapples a week typically will last a couple people a pretty good amount of time. All right, so next thing, let's talk about the cruciferous / leafy vegetables. So we got some kale here. I'll typically buy a couple bunches of this each week from Martin's. You can also get it at Whole Foods. What I like to do with this is chop it up, put some ghee in a saute pan with some garlic, and saute it up for about 5 to 6 minutes. Just like the mushrooms, it's really, really quick and simple. This does not take a lot of preparation. And yes, just like Jim Gaffigan says, kale does taste like feet if you eat it raw. But if you actually chop it up, saute it with some garlic and some ghee, and cook it, it actually tastes really, really good. Okay. Brussels sprouts, one of my favorite vegetables. I think Brussels sprouts and cabbage gets a really bad reputation because people boil it or steam it or something like that, and yeah, that really does kind of taste gross, at least in my opinion. Cruciferous vegetables like Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli benefit from charring, high heat roasting, 400, 450 degrees. They come out really, really delicious. You can take the leaves off and make Brussels sprout chips. There's a great recipe for that on nomnompaleo.com. These are really fantastic. Again, all I do, slice it open, put it on a sheet pan with some olive oil, sea salt, and then roast it at high heat for like a half an hour to 45 minutes. This is kind of a cool one that you're not going to see too often, but if you happen to be at Whole Foods in the near future, you might want to pick some of this up. This is romanesco. It's kind of like a crazy looking kid of broccoli and cauliflower. It's from the exact same family. Looks like a neon green stegosaurus of sorts. All you do with this is you just chop off the base, cut it up into little florets like you would broccoli or cauliflower, and roasted at high heat with some olive oil and sea salt or any other cooking fat you like, and it comes out really, really, really good. What else do we have in here? We got some plantains. You don't have to keep plantains in the fridge. I do because it makes them last a little bit longer. If you haven't ever used plantains before, check out my Wellness Wednesday plantain video where I show you exactly how to make these. But they're very similar to kind of a sweet potato or white potato in terms of being, even though they're technically a fruit, you would treat them as kind of a starchy carbohydrate for post-workout meals. All right, guys. Let's take a look at our meat bin right here. Got a lot of different things in here. Got some paleo-friendly bacon here from Welshire. I know Peterson's is a good brand as well. Whole Foods just had a sale on air-chilled organic roasters, so I bought a bunch of these. I've got some salmon. You can get wild Alaskan salmon frozen for about $3 to $4 a fillet from Costco. It's really delicious, not terribly expensive. Wild caught fish usually is expensive, but you can get this for pretty cheap. Got my ground pork from Hebron Farms. I love to, a lot of their meat, their ground beef, their pork shoulder, their eggs. A lot of stuff from Hebron Farms is really delicious, and I like to get a lot of it when I can. Got the ground beef from Hebron Farms. This is unlike any other ground beef you've ever tasted. It's really fantastic, and I highly recommend that you give it a try. Duck. I did a whole video on duck breast and how to cook it. It's really delicious. It's kind of like the steak of the poultry world. So if you get really sick and tired of having boneless, skinless chicken breast, which can be a little bit bland and not very flavorful, give duck breast a try. It's really quite delicious. We got some halibut in here as well. This is something that you can get again pretty cheaply from Costco, even though it's good quality, wild caught, all the rest of it. Now in our very bottom bin here, we just have some extra kind of quick and easy to grab fruits. We got some apples. That I really do spend my money to make sure that I buy organic specifically, because apples are always at the top of the list on the environmental working group list for fruits that have lots of pesticides on them. I also get a whole big bag of cuties. You can get these from Costco or Martin's or what have you. I tend to get them from Costco, but you can get them from wherever you'd like. All right, guys, so let's finish off by kind of talking about what's on the side here. We got our little butter dish. I think there's some butter in there. Basically, all I do is I take a stick of Kerrygold, which you can get at Costco or you can get at Martin's, you can get at Whole Foods. I slice it up so that it's in these little pads of butter that I can easily put in a saute pan, and it's good to go to cook. I got some ghee. Like I talked about in my fats video, if you have tried ghee before and you don't like it and you didn't try this brand, I would strongly recommend you try this brand. Pure Indian Foods makes, in my opinion, the best ghee, and there's a lot of store-bought stuff that doesn't taste quite like it. This tastes like movie theater butter, and it's very, very good quality, so I'd give that a try. We got Rayo's tomato sauce. Again, you can get this at Whole Foods, you can get this at Martin's. This is probably one of the cleanest marinara sauces you'll ever see. There are no bad ingredients, no added sugar. It tastes delicious. It's really fantastic. What else do we have here? We got some of the new Epic animal fats that just came out a couple weeks ago. They sell these now at Whole Foods. They got lard here. You can get duck fat, both of which are awesome. These come from great sources. It's a really fantastic fat to use to kind of vary things up with your vegetables instead of using olive oil all the time. My wife Lisa and I, we tried this Mama Jess organic ketchup. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's one of those things that I have yet to find kind of the perfect ketchup that's the replacement for kind of a typical Heinz or Hunt's. But this is pretty darn good. It's got a little bit of a bite to it, but I'd say it's definitely something to try if you're looking for a little bit healthier ketchup. We got the Tessemae's brand lemon garlic marinade over here. Kind of a dressing or dip that's got really, really good quality ingredients. If you haven't heard of Tessemae's before, they sell it at Whole Foods. They sell it online. It's got really, really, really clean ingredients for a lot of dressings that are very hard to get without bad ingredients. My wife Lisa really likes their mayo, which they make with olive oil and actually really clean ingredients. Believe it or not, mayo in essence is just egg yolks and olive oil. So if you don't get the stuff that's got crap in it, you can actually get mayo pretty healthy. Alright guys, as you can see, Rocket has decided to take advantage of the fact that the fridge is open and try to eat everything in there. It's a surprise that our other 3 dogs have not done the same. Last thing we got in here, we got some LaCroix. If you want some sparkling type drink that isn't soda, that kind of quenches your thirst, this is something to look for. This is a little bit better option, although obviously we generally recommend water. Alright guys, so a lot of people have been asking me, what do I have in my fridge? What sorts of things do I typically make and what sorts of things do I typically eat? So just wanted to give you a little insight into what sort of things we typically buy each week, a little bit about where to get them, and a little bit about how to make them. Alright guys, so Robbie here from CrossFit South Bend. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.